Hello friends. Yes, hope all of you are safe and sound at your home. We have already started to learn about the free radical synthesis. In that free radical synthesis, we already covered the kinetic and thermal stability of this free radical, then the generation of the free radical, and now we have started about the types of reaction involving in the free radical reaction in organic synthesis. In that, we have already covered so many things, but I would like to revise some of them. Yes, so I will share something. Yes, hope this is visible for you. Yes, okay. So the first reaction, I think three reactions we have seen already. In that we have four type of reactions are possible. Yes. So first reaction which we have learned is abstraction reaction. In that abstraction reaction we have already learned about the carbon hydrogen bond and their strength, right? Then also this type of selectivity also we have learned based on the stability of the free radical, which is more stable in secondary phase. Then we have already learned about the addition reaction. Okay. In this addition reaction, the reaction radical undergo addition to carbon-carbon double bond. Such kind of reaction also we have seen. You can observe the selectivity in both of the cases. Okay. Also, the third reaction which we have learned about the combination of disproportionation. Okay, and this is the combination of disproportionation means lot of possibilities are there in the dimerization and the disproportionation. And the fourth reaction, which is rearrangement reaction, I have shared you the one link where you can find so many name reactions which are already involved in the radical reaction. Okay. Again, here we will see some of them. The characteristic of radical reactions that we have already seen. Then there are three steps. So how we can generate the free radical using initiation step and light as a catalyst. And then the propagation reaction for the continuous monitoration and the termination reaction. This step is useful to stop the chain reaction. Okay. And the next part which we have to learn is the formation of carbon halogen bonds. And based on the energies, we have already seen this part as well. And hope you remember. So, based on the reactivity, whether this reaction is exothermic or endothermic, that also we have observed. And you can see there in this reaction minus 101 is more feasible or more reactive reaction, right? Then this bromo, methyl bromide formation reaction is again the most feasible reaction or most reactive reaction. As we can see in chlorination, both the propagating steps are exothermic. Thus, the chain reaction completes very effectively with the termination step, and the chains are low strong. In contrast, in bromination, the first of the propagating step is exothermic, and its activation energy is essentially at least as great as 62 kilojoule per mole. So thus the reaction is slower than compared to chlorination. So as a result, the termination process competes with the propagating step that leads to the chain short. So chlorination, then bromination, and what about in iodation? In iodation, the reaction is strongly endothermic. That is plus 129 kilojoule per mole is the energy that lead to ineffective. In the case of fluorination, both the propagating steps are exothermic that leads to violent reaction with the fragmentation of alkyl groups. Thus, fluorination is usually carried out by other methods. So, in carbon halogen formation bonds, the chlorination reaction is most effective reaction than the other halogens. And what are the applications in it? So in that application, so radical catalyzed chlorination and bromination of alkane takes place readily, which is both in liquid phase. Both the thermal and photochemical generation of the halogen atoms are used, right? So there is an initiator, then here is the thionyl chloride react with that initiator, and there will be formation of um, chlorination of this alkane. Okay, so RCl, right, and accordingly. So, for example, suppose we have this cyclohexane, they react with this sulfuryl chloride in the presence of dibenzoyl peroxide. Here is the peroxide to do cyclohexyl chloride, and there will be a SO2 and HCl will be the byproduct of this reaction. Okay, so we can easily prepare this chloro or we can this cyclohexyl chloride, right? Or alkyl halide or alkyl chloride in general. Okay, that we can prepare it very effectively using this reaction. Then similarly in the gas phase, bromination of isobutane gives tertiary butyl bromide exclusively. So this is the isobutane, and if we have react with the bromine, uh, which is always in bimolecular form, so you will get this uh, we can say tertiary butyl bromide reaction. Okay, the formation of tertiary butyl bromide very easily. The same type of reaction is also here, which is Hans-Dicker reaction. Again, you can find it here, the radical. So treatment of aqueous solution of silver oxide here with carbon dioxide, with carboxylic acid gives silver salt of carboxylic acid, which reacts with bromine to give a bromo compound with elimination of CO2. So in this reaction, there is a requirement of silver oxide. In starting material, there will be a carboxylic acid, and in presence of bromine, so what you will get is silver salt of carboxylic acid, and then final product is the bromine. So this reaction involves the formation of acyl hypobromite first. So see, this is the carboxylic acid derivative. Before that, from silver oxide in presence of water, there will be AgOH and Ag plus will come out. Okay, so in such kind of reaction, and due to this silver uh, ion and this strong base, there will be formation of this acyl hypobromite. So this is okay. This is called as acyl hypobromite. Okay, and there will be homolytic cleavage of this bond, which is oxygen and bromine bond. So there will be bromine radical and COO radical. That is acyloxy radical. Okay, and this acyloxy radical, again there will be decarboxylation. Decarboxylation means there will be removal of CO2. This compound, acyloxy compound, will lose the CO2 molecule, and the resulting radical reacts with the bromine, this bromine, and there will be formation of our target molecule, right? Or another possibility is when there will be a formation of this radical, this radical will react with another molecule of this hypobromide. See, or this radical will react with another molecule of hypobromide, and directly there will be formation of this bromo compound. Great. So this is the actual mechanism. So see one example. Uh, there is a mercury and lead compounds are also known to react similarly. For example, cyclopropane carboxylic acid. So this is the structure. React with this silver oxide, this mercuric oxide in presence of bromine. There will be formation of bromocyclopropane. There will be formation of bromocyclopropane and decarboxylation, and these are the byproducts, right? So this is the another method to prepare. I can say this is the Hans-Dicker reaction, right? Then these are the some examples which you can find it in literature. That's it. And this is the derivative of carboxylic acid in presence of diethylamine and HF and BS and bromosuccinamide. There will be formation of bromine, right? Another way using NBS and dichloromethane, again this carboxylic acid derivative get converted into bromine. So their yield is too much, which is like 94%. And the reaction which we have just seen, which is carboxylic acid derivative in presence of using mercuric oxide and Br2. Again, there will be replacement of carboxylic acid by bromine, right? So the same way, you can solve some examples as well. How would you employ radical reactions in the synthesis of the following compound? So what will be the starting material in this, then here, and then here. So I think you can most probably you can use any four reactions which we have learned, whether this is a rearrangement reaction or abstraction reaction or addition reaction or double bond addition reaction, right? So there will be formation of carbon halogen bond. Okay. Then here the complete the following reaction using this silver. Obviously, there will be one product, then using NOCl, then tributyltin hydride, and so on. Okay. So there are some books. Great. So let's try to solve it and see you in the next session. Bye bye.